Evening everyone, my name's Phil, I'm a recovered drug addict.
Hey Phil.
What a privilege to be invited down here to kind of share my experience of relapse, the mental twist, the blank spot, and the strategies I've put in historically to try and gain recovery, be in recovery, and stay in recovery, only to find myself relapsed again. It's been a lovely day today. Me and my partner who's in the room, I'm quite nervous that she's in the room, and my sponsor and a few people who I respect dearly. And I hear that you guys know your stuff down here, so I'm kind of feeling a little bit on edge to deliver a message down here today, but I'm going to do my best. Lovely day. What a really cool day. Drove down from Bristol, met my partner today, and we've been around the Bullring and bought a birthday present, had some food, and come and met you, Davina, and come here to do this share. Brilliant. On the way here, we walked up to the car park, in the multi-story car park, and we were coming up the stairs, and there was a young guy with his dog on the 4th level, with his kit out, spoon, foil, the lot, and he was like, oh, don't mind me, just step over the dog, you know. And my partner's response was, isn't that sad? Isn't it sad? Now for me, it looked normal. I'm immune to it, see? And it is sad in its totality, you know, when you look at that, it is sad, but I feel really immune to that. I feel immune to it because I was him, yeah? I've sat in them stairwells and took hits. I've sat in, you know, I've been in public toilets and done snowballs and a lot of other unsavory places, you know. So for me, it weren't such a shock. Here's the shock for me, yeah. Next week I'll be coming up 1 year clean again, yeah. I'll be celebrating my year clean time in Cocaine Anonymous after a major relapse. When I look at that guy, I'm not shocked. My partner feels sad that can happen. I feel concerned that could happen to me again. That could be me. And here's the thing, it shouldn't ever happen to me again. It shouldn't. I had, in CA, long-term sobriety, 7.5 years in Bournemouth. And prior to that, I've been in and out of the treatment services, in and out of recovery. I've been around this game for about 24, 25 years. Attending meetings, I've been in about 14 different treatment centres to date. But when I got to CA, there was something different. Yeah, you guys were talking a different language. You were on fire about recovery, and my experience is, if you sit in these rooms, particularly CA, and you're not working the steps out of this book, the steps that are on the wall are in this book, and being sponsored, and doing the stuff that we do, amends, going out and making your amends, taking your inventory, doing prayer and meditation, and most importantly, out working with others. And as a result of that, having a life that is like completely 360 from the life that we've all lived, and being of service to others, you're going to feel left out, because that's just what we do here. You're going to be left out. There's a point to this. There's a part in the book that talks about fear sobered us for a while, yeah? So I don't know if back then, yeah, my fear of relapse, so all bridges burnt, all avenues tried and tested. I weren't allowed to go back to my mum's house. Ex-partners didn't want to know me. It was a done deal for me. I've ended up in Bournemouth and I'm in CA, and you guys are like, you're on fire with this stuff. So I'm getting on board with you. It's kind of like that camaraderie kind of thing. Like, I'm not getting left out, you know? And I studied this book relentlessly. I know it inside out. I literally know the first 164 pages inside out. Self-knowledge, yeah? I jumped on board with this stuff, and I don't, like, hindsight's a wonderful thing. I look back at my motives. I just got caught up in it. We're going to big book studies. Within a year, I'm working. I've learned to read and write in CA. I've got all the trappings of recovery. I've got a career in drug and alcohol services. 1 year's turned into 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. It was an amazing time, and I love CA. It got so good that I thought relapse was impossible. I've shared from podiums, I've shared from top tables, that I've literally, these words have come out of my mouth. I'm a recovered addict, and for me, I'm not going to relapse because I do this stuff. And believe me, I did it. I did it with vigor. You know, I was part of one of the strongest home groups going. I had real good, strong sponsorship. I knew this stuff. I'd done 99.7% of my amends, and I was actively working with others. And at 7.5 years, I'm not going to go into some other stuff that was going on, but at 7.5 years on a holiday with my lady, I took a drink in Croatia. Okay, so Phil relapsed. It should not have happened. For me to use again is nothing short than hell. You know, the insane idea went out, and it shouldn't happen. You know, for me to drink, to take alcohol into my system, to take a spliff, to take a Valium, to take a flipping snowball in my groin, is nothing. I might as well just get a big pot of arsenic, and pour it down my neck. That's how insane it is for me, and in the light of always what happens to me. Long story short, I ended up back in Gloucester, my hometown. And I ended up contacting my sponsor, who was in this room. It was about a year later, I got in contact with him again, and ended up in our home group, our old home group, with a few people in this room. And once again, I reasserted myself. This time, I was not going to make the mistakes that I made last time, and threw myself into this home group in Worcester, and jumped on board, went back through the steps, but I had all this old knowledge. See, I wasn't allowing any, self-knowledge is veiled as nothing. And I was stuck in my ways, and I would get into arguments with people who were in this room about threefold, twofold, the nature of this disease, the spiritual malady, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. Relapsed again. And then relapsed again. My story is when it's my poor partner, she's put me she's took me to about 3 different treatment centres since she's been with me in the last 6 years, and eventually, because of my relapses, I came round to the way what you guys were telling me about this mental twist, this peculiar mental blank spot. I kind of understood it anyway, but now I've got experience to back it up. The impossible happened when it shouldn't have happened. Okay. So I reassert myself again, I'll try even harder this time. At this time, I've just come out of a treatment centre that I landed in 13 years before, and I come out with the absolute desperation of a man drowning. You hear these words banded around the rooms, and I applied myself. I started up a meeting in Gloucester, and started up this home group, went through the steps really quickly, and started sponsoring others. Went out and did the amends, the nevers, the nevers list, when I met some of them amends, and a guy who I thought was gonna shoot me in that, cleared that up. If we just do these amends, we won't use again, faced it. Let me tell you how. See, when I shared down in Bristol, some people are like, Phil, you share too much about the doom. You share too much about how you're going to relapse again, and people don't really want to hear this stuff. And for me, this is my experience. I cannot flower this up for you. The illusion of power comes in many forms. For me, it came in the form of this program. I thought if I could just apply myself, I'm doing at least 20 to 30 minutes of centering prayer every day. Trying to get up a little bit earlier, do my centering prayer in the office before I go to work. I'm working in the field as a certified outreach worker with the homeless. I've got this home group that Phil set up, yeah. You got to get on it, yeah. How the ego reasserts itself. I'm actively in the book. We're working with others. I've got my beautiful partner, our little life. The year that I relapsed, I went on four holidays. Things were good, you know, and I got back up to 17 months. But what I tried to do was again recreate what had gone. Yeah, I tried to seek recovery on the back end of an old idea, yeah, with some new ideas that I fully still didn't get in step 3. I never let go, absolutely, you know. Just before my relapse, my sponsor said to me, "You're tired. You got too many plates spinning. You know, work, relationship, the cats, the kids, and the sponsorship and stuff." And he suggested to me that maybe I should just ring up work and cut my hours. And this was my reaction: no. He said to me as well, "I've got this old big book here." I still haven't thrown it away, by the way, but right, I've got this old tatty big book that I used to carry to meetings. Do you remember, James? Yeah. Right, and it was part. So what I'm talking about is this is part of my identity in CA, in recovery. So I'm the drug and alcohol worker. That can't go. Well, what about the relationship? Well, that can't go. Well, what about your big book? No. See, I wasn't willing to let go of these old ideas, and the day comes. So this is how the insane idea went out. I had some pain in my stomach one morning. I took some time off work. It went on, and on this Friday, I've said to my partner, she's gone off to work. I'm going to go down to A&E. Yeah. So I've rang my boss, gone down to A&E. Yeah. And they've started doing tests. They've took blood and stuff, and they've said to me, this consultation, this doctor said to me, "Do you want some diazepam and some codeine to relieve the pain?" So I raised the defence. I went, "No, I can't do that. I'm 17 months clean and sober. I'm in recovery." Yeah. She went, "Okay, please yourself." Yeah. Off she went. She come back with another consultant and said, "Well, it's not pancreatitis, but we're really concerned about you. Yeah. Will you stay overnight?" Now, I'd just been invited to DJ the next night after. My first ever DJ in a bar or a club, yeah? There was no way I was staying. So see how I'm running the show. I'm running the show, yeah? So I raised the defence, yeah? So the book talks about our sound reasoning, which runs parallel with the insane idea. She went, "So you're going?" I went, "Yeah." She went, "Well, you sure you don't want a small amount of diazepam and codeine just to take the pain away, and then if you're still in pain, come back on Monday?" So I rang my sponsor. I raised the defence. I said, "Sponsor, should I do this?" Now, my sponsor ain't got no opinion on it. He's not a doctor. He's not a consultant. If the doctor's saying I need it, but what we're going to do is we're going to watch it. Yeah, we're going to get my partner to administrate it to me as prescribed, yeah, and we're just gonna keep an eye on it. Should be fine, yeah. I left Gloucester City Hospital, got in my car, driving to Huntley. My girlfriend's at work. She ain't there to administrate it to me. I'm like this on the way, pop, 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 yeah. By the time I get home and close the door, I'm like, it's there, ease and comfort, yeah. That feeling that we get when we use, and long story short, 4 days later, I'm driving down to Gloucester, down to my sister's, down to her little crack house, and getting her to school for me. First started another joke. And here's the joke as well. I'd just been invited to share in Portugal. Yeah, I bought the tickets and everything. Yeah, bought the tickets. Big book Phil's going to go and share in Portugal. Yeah, and I've relapsed. So I've had to ring up the committee. Yeah. And tell them that I'd relapsed. And they went, "Well, come anyway." So I smashed through the work, yeah, go over to Portugal, 6 days clean, and Sheriff on the top table in Portugal did a brilliant job with it. Everyone was clapping. It was amazing. You could see how the ego reasserts itself really, really quickly, yeah? I'm doing this stuff, and by the time I come back, 4 weeks later, it's Christmas time coming up. I'm at the Celtic Manor with my partner. I'm in a tuxedo. There's not a cloud on the horizon. No spiritual malady, no nothing. Everything's cool. I'm clean again. I'm going in high hope, self-knowledge. Surely this time I've got it, yeah? As we cross the threshold of the board, this big board dining room with all these lovely tables and everything, they've offered me an orange juice and they've given my partner a champagne. I'm like, oh, in my head, yeah. As the night's going on, my partner's talking to this guy. There's nothing there. I'm not jealous or anything. A bit, right? It's all ha 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 ha, right? I made the decision in the moment, yeah. I thought, well, fuck this. Excuse my language. I'm gonna have a drink, yeah, just to take the edge off, right? And here's my insane idea, yeah. Here's how this illusion just, I'll drink over Christmas and then I'll come back to CA. See, the idea that I can use again and just waltz back in here and get a newcomer's keyring was not my truth this time, yeah. I wasn't gonna have a little drinky poos over Christmas. This time, it robbed me. It absolutely robbed me. It took my job. My partner had to throw me out of home. I was no longer allowed back over the threshold of my mother's door. I was back in my sister's crack house with a needle, back in my groin full of crack cocaine and heroin. It took nearly two suicide attempts, 2 overdoses where my friend Clint, who's now not with us, had to put naloxone in me. In a 6-month relapse. I've got a picture here. You're invited to anybody to come and look at it. You know, within 6 months, I was being wheeled around a treatment centre once more. Thank God that I had some savings and enough about me to ring this place up, and my partners kept hold of my money to get me back in there. Absolutely beaten, absolutely smashed and ravaged within 6 months, on the back end of, I'm going to come back to CA after a few Jack Daniels, you know. The illusion of power is absolutely astonishing for me as a chronic relapser. This was a year ago. I'm going to end on this. So for me, I've had to quit playing God entirely. No more Mr. Big Book feel. No more Mr. I think I know it all. From the moment I walked back in that treatment centre, I remember holding hands with them when they finally got me out of observations and got me out of that wheelchair. And I started again with, they were doing the Serenity Prayer, and they were doing the God grant us the serenity and I started doing the we thing that we do in CA, and then they just come to me. It was like, here I go again, trying to change it. This isn't how they do it here. You're going to do it how they do it. And then they said to me, you're not going home, Phil. How can you go home? You're going to Bristol to a dry house. And I was like, dry house? Dry house? I'm a drug and alcohol. I'm going back to my career, my beautiful partner, and the beautiful home with my cats and the kids. Like, Phil, you're insane. And I just had to go and let go absolutely. Here's the difference, right? Just after I got out of that treatment centre and ended up in that dry house in the epoxy room on Hedrick Street in Bristol, right? I'm sat there and I've got major back problems. I ended up going in for emergency surgery. When I come out of the surgery, I've just done that major detox. I'm still shaking a bit. I wake up and I'm on OxyContin. I'm like, rah, right? I'm pressing the button. And then it came to me. I rang my sponsor and it was like, do you really need that? No, I don't. I've had to quit. Just quit playing God entirely. I told the nurse, I said, come, get this out of me. I had one more tramadol and that's it. That was the last time I had any mind-altering substance in me. That's the difference between then and now, you know. I have to watch this stuff, guys, you know. I can think I'm a bigwig, especially down there in Bristol, and I know this stuff, and for the first 3 or 4 months in CA, I just shut up. I sat in the meeting and shut up, and it was a direction. We don't want to hear you, Phil. We know you can share. We know you're confident, but how about shutting up for a while and listening to what these guys got to say? Because your self-knowledge availed me nothing, you know. I think for me at the moment, my biggest fear is relapse again. It can't happen. It will happen, yeah? It will happen if I don't quit playing God. If I don't quit playing God. For me, I have to pause many times throughout the day. Your will be done, not mine. You know, pause, stop, watch, ask, turn, complete honesty with whatever's going on with me, with one man that I've given permission to to help me. So, and God's seen fit recently to give me a man to work with, and he's so difficult. And it's like, there's no glory in it at the moment, but that's cool. That's cool. I'm in my little dry, so I've now been moved into a flat. I see my partner once a fortnight, and it's been really difficult. But I just feel like I'm a sure-footed man at the moment, and God may it last, and I'll leave it at that.
Thank you.